Hello and welcome to this explainer. If you're managing commercial property in South Africa, whether that's a sprawling shopping center, a logistics estate, or a major office park, the ground under your feet is shifting fast. We've just hit a massive milestone in electricity generation, and it's fundamentally changing how asset managers and property funds operate.
Here is exactly what we are covering. First, the incredible scale of rooftop solar, then hitting the physical wall. From there, we move to the pooled wheeling solution, the private generation pipeline, and finally, organizing the portfolio structure.
Part 1. The rooftop solar scale. Let's look at just how fast this sector has moved.
The numbers here are honestly staggering. National rooftop solar capacity has crossed 8.3 gigawatts, and we're not talking about suburban homes here. The vast majority of this sits right on top of our commercial properties, malls, warehouses, farms, and office parks. To put 8.3 gigawatts into perspective, it completely dwarfs the 2.8 gigawatts of operational solar that was contracted under the state procurement programs. As landlords and property directors, you literally led this massive build.
Section 2. Hitting the physical wall. What happens when your rollout is actually too successful?
In May 2026, Redefined Properties, South Africa's second-largest listed landlord, hit a hard physical milestone. They simply ran out of roof space for further solar installations. Now, this is a crucial distinction. This is not a funding problem, and it is definitely not a technology problem. The solar panels work brilliantly, the savings are absolutely real, and the corporate appetite is huge. But the roof simply ran out.
If you haven't hit this wall yet, you're gonna. Up to now, getting solar was basically a standard procurement exercise, right? You pick an installer, match the array size to your daytime load, and watch the utility bill drop. Simple. But the moment that roof is full, securing the next increment of clean energy stops being something you can just bolt onto a building. Suddenly, it becomes a complex grid contracting and portfolio modeling question.
Section 3. The pooled wheeling solution. How do you keep adding clean power when there's nowhere left to put panels?
We actually have a perfect worked example for this, involving Growthpoint, Etana Energy, and the City of Cape Town. Back in November 2023, Growthpoint signed a power purchase agreement for 195 gigawatt hours a year. That covered about 32% of their total electricity consumption. Fast forward to April 2026, and they completed the very first pooled wheeling allocation of renewable electricity inside a single municipal network.
Let's look at the actual buildings in this initial Cape Town pool. We've got 5 participating right now. The standout is 36 Hans Streetum, which is now sourcing 100% of its grid electricity through this pooled renewable allocation. The others are Constantia Village Mall, Centennial Place, Montclair Place, and Newlands on Nain. The incredible thing? The electricity for these sites is generated hundreds of kilometers away at the Boxen hydroelectric plant in the Free State. And their plan is to roll this out to more than 30 properties. So what does pooled wheeling actually change? It means you are matching supply and demand across a whole portfolio, rather than on a building-by-building basis. You have one generator sitting far away, serving multiple sites simultaneously. The physical constraint is no longer the square meters above a tenant's head. Instead, your success relies entirely on the quality of the structure underneath the deal.
Moving to Section 4, the private generation pipeline. This Growthpoint deal isn't just a one-off anomaly. 19.6 gigawatts. That is the massive amount of private generation capacity registered with NERSA by April 2026. To show you the sheer momentum, 1.34 gigawatts of that total came from 132 new projects in just the first 4 months of 2026 alone. The vast majority of this isn't meant to sit behind a single meter either. It's specifically intended to be wheeled across the grid to private buyers. The power is coming.
Which brings us to our final section, organizing the portfolio structure.
The central question is your portfolio structured to receive this offsite power? There are 5 specific pillars you must organize. Number 1, your grid and municipal position. Because municipal wheeling frameworks differ widely across South Africa, this dictates everything at the delivery end. Number 2, aggregation. Doing this for a single building is almost never worth the structuring effort, but across a whole portfolio, it absolutely makes sense. Number 3, the counterparty and the contract. A power purchase agreement locks you in for years, so you have to meticulously map out the generation mix, the curtailment risk, and the settlement mechanics. Number 4, metering, billing, and the lease. That wheeled electricity has to physically reach the tenant and then accurately appear on their recovery statement. And number 5, timing. That Cape Town pilot we discussed took 18 months of hard collaboration to set up. You have to factor that kind of lead time into your program because the structural work you start right now is only going to land in the tariff year after next.
Ultimately, we have to rethink how we view energy strategy in the commercial property sector. The roofs filling up is not the end of the story. It is the point at which cheap electricity stops being a purchase and starts being a structure. So as this incredible shift continues across South Africa, ask yourself, is your portfolio truly structured to survive it?